Welcome to the Don't Quote Us on This podcast. I am Maddie and this is Kory. So, I guess I'm starting us off. I took the intro, but okay. So this week we pulled a little prank on my brother,
Oh,
but
you're gonna start with that. I thought we were gonna start with all the other stuff and end with that.
No, you didn't take the reins, so here I am.
Alright.
Um, it was a little prank in the sense of just kind of funny, harmless, like those are the kind of pranks that I enjoy. The camera is kind of closed. I don't know if that's what you were doing, but it's
I mean, it's not an issue, I don't think.
okay. I'm just letting you know that it was. I wasn't sure if that's what you were doing.
I mean, we can see what the camera sees. It didn't appear there, so it's not a huge issue.
Okay.
But can I start the story real quick?
Sure.
Okay. So Thursday's my day off, and a little bit later on into the evening, probably about 2 hours before I'm supposed to go to bed, Maddie made a joke, something along the lines of, "It's too bad we didn't change anything up," or no, I think she said, "This will be the first time my brother comes over and stays with us, and nothing has changed." And I went, "Oh no." There was that comment, then that made me think we should rearrange our living room. So I was talking about rearranging it the other way because there's only two ways we could have done it. But Maggie said, "I don't want to rearrange the living room unless we put the TV on our fireplace," which isn't possible because our fireplace base is smaller than the legs for our TV. So the only possible way to do that was to get a wooden stand. Man, it's too bad we don't have like wood. We could build that. And then I realized we do have some scrap wood. It's in the back. It's in the shed. While I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's just a little too small. There's just no way it's gonna work. And then Maddie remembers that when I built a shelf in our kitchen, I had some leftover wood from that that's supposed to be used for a shelf. But we ended up using that instead. So here I am, an hour and a half before bedtime, cutting wood to the pieces I need. And then, using all the tools that Maddie just got me for Father's Day, I am setting pieces together, gluing them, screwing them together, and like this shelf is suddenly becoming a real thing. It's kind of crazy. And then, believe it or not, by the end of the night, I had a fully built shelf that was glued, screwed, and ready to go. All I was doing then was adding like little reinforcements to attach to the sides of the fireplace so that if the TV was on it and somebody pull on it, like a little Miss Ma'am who's not here at the moment, she's still sleeping, that the TV wouldn't fall forward or that the platform wouldn't break. So I was trying to build support so that if she was to pull on it, it wouldn't break. So I let that dry on Thursday. Went to work Friday, very tired, but very excited to come home and move my living room, which I think is a sign that I'm old. Um, Someone let me know in the comments if I'm old, if I get excited to rearrange my living room. Um, so we come home and then we start cleaning our living room. We're rearranging the furniture piece by piece. We move the TV. The first thing we do is move the TV because if my stand doesn't work, then everything else doesn't matter. So we move the TV. It works. We have a little outlet that we plugged everything into. TV turns on, and now we're listening to my team play while we're moving stuff around. So there was a lot of stuff because if anyone has kids, they will know that kids like to just play with everything and anything and will just shove it anywhere. And the way our couch was positioned, there was a little bit of a gap behind it, and Maddie, anytime Miss Ma'am got a hold of something that she would start swinging with because she likes to swing stuff, would take it away from her and throw it into the abyss that is behind our couch. So, on top of all of the kid toys that were under our couch, we then had a pile of stuff that kept falling behind our couch. So once we started moving the couch piece by piece, we started uncovering all of these toys that suddenly reappeared. We found like some things of wipes that got accidentally knocked behind the couch. We found clothes and all this other stuff. Um, and sometimes a lot of food because there's been a lot of issues where Miss Ma'am has spilled some things like Captain Crunch and all that stuff, and then we try to get it all, but we can't really see under the couch very well. Plus, we don't want to accidentally suck up a toy or like a sock or something. So it was just a long process, and it was really funny because I told Maddie during this long process, I said, "This is all fun and everything, but this is all just for a joke. Like, this entire process of us cleaning our living room couch, like rearranging the living room, building that shelf, is all for a joke." And that I think cracks me up the most is like, sure, we rearranged our living room and stuff, and it's gonna be that way for a while now that I have a shelf that I personally built. But um, I don't think I would have been able to do that without the expertise of one such friend we have, Tyler, for showing me how to build the shelving unit I have, and then just teaching me about how to use wood in the first place because I thought it was just a basic grab wood cut. He's the one that showed me that like there's some of the wood you get isn't really like the right size wood, like there's some that are just like a quarter inch too big, and sometimes a quarter inch can really throw your stuff off. So shout out to Tyler for the exact measurement, and I think we have some more shout outs today, don't we?
We do. We have some for the past week because this is something new that we've decided that we're going to be doing. Shout out to one of my best friends, Ashley. Happy belated birthday. I know I told you happy birthday. About made you cry on your birthday. All out of love. So happy belated birthday to you. And then happy belated birthday to Papa Joel, because his birthday was this last week as well. Happy birthday to Alyssa. By the time this goes up on YouTube and Spotify, it'll be belated birthday. So, happy belated birthday, Alyssa.
So this podcast episode will come out on Wednesday, July 2nd. Yesterday, July 1st, is my sister Alyssa's birthday. So happy birthday, Alyssa. We will obviously be telling you happy birthday on your birthday, but
this is just something fun we want to do, like on our podcast. I feel like there was another one. Oh, I mean, I guess happy 4th of July for real, but the next time we record, it'll already be past 4th of July.
Correct. The 4th of July will have already happened, so make sure you stay safe, have fun, and enjoy the fireworks out there, but most importantly, remember what it's all about.
Happy 4th of July. I think that was all of the shout-outs that we had.
We'll have more next week. There's obviously a very big one next week. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. The recording for the next one is on that very special day. Because the 4th is Friday.
Oh, yeah. Well, because, let's see. So next week, we have hers, and then we'll have another recording. I was jumping ahead.
Too far?
Yeah, I was thinking of yours.
Oh, no. Yeah, mine's still 2 weeks away.
Which, that one, we'll have 3.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so, if you have a special shout-out that you want us to send out there, just know. We might shout them out.
Just like, comment, follow, whatever. And we can do special shout-outs and just fun things like that. By the way, you had the start of that story all wrong.
I know, I completely butchered the start because all I remember is something happened, and then suddenly here I am outside cutting wood, holding a shelf, and I'm like, why am I doing this? And I'm like, it's all for a joke, and that's the funny part.
So, how it actually started was you were like, what would you think about like changing up our living room again? How it was. And I'm like, with the TV over here by the arch.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, no, I didn't really like that. I was like, the only way that I'm willing to rearrange our living room is if the TV is where our fireplace is. But we can't do that because one, our outlet won't stretch there, like our power strip won't stretch, and the TV probably won't fit on the fireplace. Did some measuring, and the TV legs were just barely short to fit on our fireplace.
No,
which, by the
they were
way,
too
we don't
big.
we
No,
don't.
they were too big, not too short. They were
Okay,
too
the
big.
fireplace was barely short, like
It was probably like half an inch too big on both sides.
maybe not even that.
It was pretty close to half an inch on both sides, and I thought that was pretty crazy that it was really close. Plus, yeah.
By the way, we don't use our fireplace. It's
So-
kind of just a surface that becomes a catch-all. Um, so I told him, I'm like, the only way I'm willing to do that is if we're able to have our TV right there. And I was like, we can't do that. And he was like, well, what if I can build a shelf? And I'm like, I mean, there are power strips that have longer cords, so if you can build a shelf, why not? Because I think it would be pretty funny that every time Jake has stayed here with us, that something has changed. So I think it would be funny to keep doing that. And then, like, a light bulb popped in his head. He's all, that's the best thing ever. And so that's where it became a
I
joke.
think it was like, it's the best thing ever. And because it's such a running joke, we have to keep it going at this point. And we could easily just move something very small. But it's really funny if we put in all this effort just for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
For him to come in and be like, oh, that's crazy. And then that's the reaction we got. And that's it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and we also rearranged back here. So behind us, you can kind of see a little bit more of our games. Not really, because we're kind of in the way. But you can kind of get a little bit more of a glimpse of all of our games. So that's fun.
Miss Ma'am isn't here. She's still sleeping at the moment, but she did have a very funny story when she went out on a walk with you. Would you like to tell that?
Yeah. So I went just around a block, and one of the houses in the neighborhood have like a bunch of like.
I'm telling the story.
Oh.
You want to tell people a story?
Yeah. You went on the second walk, huh? Mm-hmm.
Oh, just a tired face.
Yeah. Anyway, so one of the houses in the neighborhood has like a whole bunch of like yard decorations, like ceramic ones, metal ones, and they also have like little lights. So their yard is pretty cool at night too, because just like a little light show, really. So we went during the day, and we didn't even get all the way to the house. Like we were like right at the edge of their yard because they got a corner lot. So good for them. But we see the big metal chicken, and Miss Ma'am goes, "Bok bok." She sees a chicken, and she connected that the chicken says "bok bok." She has also connected that cats say meow and dogs say woof. She really likes when I read books to her that show animals, and like I make the animal noises, so she likes that a lot. Another walk that we went on, we went at night this time, and we saw a little cat. It wasn't a kitten, but it wasn't an adult. Like, it was kind of like in between. And it was a really pretty cat, and I was like, come here, kitty, kitty, kitty. And so then Miss Ma'am, come here, come here. So, she's a very big mimic already.
She's, yeah, very adorable. We love to see her growing up and learning new things every week. So we'll be doing a segment of whatever Miss Ma'am learns that week. And it might not be full of a whole lot of stuff. It might only be like 1 or 2 things. But so far, it seems like she's starting to get into animal sounds and connecting where they are. So good for her. In part of rearranging our living room and moving our couch to this, now our living room is like long ways, if that makes sense. So we have our couch is a little closer to the TV than it would have been if we had kept it horizontal. But we flipped it so now it's like vertical, and we have longer space. So our couch is a little closer to the TV, but we have space behind our couch now for a little play area for Miss Ma'am. So she's now got her kitchen and stuff upstairs. I say that like it's a lot of stairs to go up. It's literally 2 stairs. There's 2 steps.
And they're very short steps. Like,
yeah. So it's really just one big step.
Yeah.
Um, but it's now behind our couch, so now she can sit there and play while we watch TV or something, and like we can just peek behind us and keep an eye on her, and yeah, so it's really nice. Like as this project progressed, more and more ideas were popping into our heads of like what we could set up because I that wasn't originally part of the project, and then I was like, we're just gonna have this big empty space behind the couch. Let's just put all of her toys there, and then we can use our old entertainment stand because it's chipping away. We'll paint it with some chalkboard paint, and then she can just use chalk there because she loves chalk. So if we give her chalk, and she loves to draw and stuff too, because as you can tell, if anyone comes over to our house, you will see all of the art she has put up on our walls.
She's a little graffitist.
Mm-hmm.
She likes to draw on walls, the floor, doors, furniture, anything that she can get a hold of. She likes to draw on me, on herself, on her clothes. She hasn't drawn on Mini Ma'am yet, so
So yeah, so now we have this nice little play area that she can go and be herself and make a mess in, and then even better is the mess is confined to a small little area, so it'll be a really easy, quick cleanup every night. That being said, she still somehow drags the toys around to the other side of the couch, so we're trying to work on that still. But I think as time progresses and she realizes, hey, this is my play area, um, she'll keep the mess there. But she just likes to bring us stuff and keep us involved in her toys, so that's still adorable. It also is nice because now when we have friends come over, we're not all cramped in one little area. We have space for the adults, and then because they have kids, the kids can go roam around and play in the next little area, and we can just all keep an eye on our kids. And it's just a quick hop over the couch or walk around through our kitchen to get to where you need to get to. Um, so I think that's really nice, and it's going to work out really well when we have friends over. So we'll let you guys know how that goes when that happens. Um, We had some meals this week, some meal prep, because we're preparing to take off for Montana here in a couple days. Um, Very excited for that trip, but we did some shopping this week. We're keeping our items that we purchased down to a minimum because we don't want to have something sitting here because we'll be gone for a little bit. We don't want to have stuff in our fridge or freezer that are going to spoil while we're gone. So anything that's going to spoil while we're gone, we're trying to get rid of so that we don't have to deal with that when we come back. So we sat down and made a meal list for the week, this week and next.
more so we kind of wanted to share ideas with you guys for dinner ideas because coming up with something to make for dinner every single day kind of sucks. So if you want some ideas, here they are.
Well, we had hot dogs and hamburgers on.
That was lunch yesterday.
Well, the hot dogs were lunch yesterday. We had hamburgers for dinner on Friday. Then last night, Maddie made a hash brown casserole, which she saw on TikTok. So if
If you want me to explain how to make it, it's super simple and easy. You can always find a video on TikTok, and you can always change it to how you like it. So the one that I found has onions. I don't eat onions. He doesn't eat onions. So onions were just a no-go for me right off the bat. But I still made the recipe, and we loved it. So for mine, it's just a bag of hash browns, about a cup of sour cream, and then a can of cream of chicken. And then you mix all that together, and then you put some shredded cheese in with that mixture as well. And you cook up some bacon, about a pound of bacon. And then you mix that in as well, and then season it to your own taste. Like I do Cajun and some garlic salt usually. Sometimes I'll throw in seasoned salt. I just season it however I feel. Put that in a casserole dish, sprinkle it with more shredded cheese on the top, and then throw it in the oven. I anywhere from like 375 to 400, and then depends on like how long you want to bake it for. You can bake it for 25 just to barely melt the cheese, or if you want it a little bit crispier, you can bake it for closer to 40 minutes. So
This is also a friendly reminder that if you have any Halloween candy left from Halloween, you should probably either throw it away or eat it. We've had some in our freezer that we are currently trying to get rid of because it has been in our freezer for 2 years now?
No, that one was 2024.
Oh, last year.
So we got that one last year. It was our discount candy that we got.
So, yeah, we did the whole thing one time where we tried to save candy from like the discount Halloween candy era and throw it in the freezer, and then we'll like thaw it out next Halloween. And that was okay. The candy was a little like harder to eat, but
I think it was fine.
yeah, it was all right. I mean, it was just the caramel candies. The caramel candies got affected, but
Hmm.
the other ones were fine. Like Hershey's and Kit Kats and stuff. They all tasted normal. Reese's, same thing. Um, Tonight we're doing spaghetti for dinner. That's my personal favorite. I like to boil the noodles and then I brown some meat up in a saucepan, add some sauce packets, tomato sauce, and some water. Let that simmer down for a little bit and then mix it all together. Boom, spaghetti, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm not a big fan of meatballs. I think that's a texture thing for me. Honestly, I think I just have a whole issue with texture. Um, but slowly and surely I am getting through it by trying things one step at a time. So baby steps, we're getting through everything. Maybe meatballs is on my radar one day, but I think it's just a weird texture psychological thing for me. Um, so yeah, spaghetti tonight for dinner. And then we have a lot of other meals planned for us before we take off on the 4th of July. Thursday's a little easier because we'll be out celebrating the 4th of July. So obviously that's an easy. We don't have to cook. Someone else will cook for us.
We also have tacos on our list.
Oh yeah, we had tacos. Tacos is good.
We got some ground beef tacos and some turkey tacos. Ground turkey makes some pretty good tacos, but it does not make pretty good turkey nuggets. So, learned that lesson the hard way.
Yeah. Well.
But we both tried it. We gave it a shot.
So. Yeah. Well. Didn't really have much else to bring up. You got
Well, we didn't give that many meals.
I think we gave a good chunk. We still have to save some for next week. We're just doing what we already did, not what we're gonna do this next week.
Okay.
What's that? What's that?
One of our days we did have a cheat day because we did have fast food, so that was fun.
Oh, well. I don't really think we have anything else. I think we're right at the end. What do you think?
I think I'm good.
I think that was a very good episode. Ladies and gentlemen, if you managed to stick with us this long, we want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for spending time with us this beautiful day. We hope you have a great rest of your week, or a great start to your week, depending on when you see this. If you're seeing it when we're doing it live on Sunday, have a good week. If you're seeing this when it goes live on Wednesday on YouTube and Spotify, then we hope you finish out your week strong. And like I said, have a happy and safe 4th of July. Make sure you enjoy the fireworks, but don't enjoy them too much to the point of where you have to go to the emergency room because you lost a finger. Once again, shout outs to Tyler for helping me out with our wood project. Shout out to Ashley for her belated birthday. Shout out to Papa Joel for his belated birthday. And then shout out to Alyssa, whose birthday will have just passed. So, that's everybody, right? Please tell me I didn't miss somebody.
That's all.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I had a panic moment in my head because I'm like, I can't remember who we all said.
I did write it down on the paper, but you didn't want to bring the paper, so it is what it is.
We'll bring the paper next week because next week we won't be here doing this podcast. We'll be in a special location. Ba, 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 ba. But we really thank you guys for coming out. We really appreciate all the support that we get from the few people we have that come check us out every week. We're trying to grow in any way, shape, or form that we can. So if you could share this podcast with someone, we'd be greatly appreciative of it. We understand that the camera quality is a little bit iffy at the moment. Our plan is to try to generate money in some way, shape, or form so that we can afford to get a better camera and obviously upgrade our systems. But that only works if we have contributions from people like you. So we thank you very much for coming and watching us. It's honestly free to check us out. So the only thing you're really losing here is, well, the only thing you're really paying is your time to us, and we greatly appreciate anyone who spends their time and giving it to us.
Time is money.
Absolutely. If you haven't already, you can check us out on TikTok. Search "Don't Quote Us on This." You'll find us. Same logo that you find on YouTube and Spotify. Same thing if you do that. Obviously, YouTube is a little more saturated with "Don't Quote Us" podcasts, but we are "Don't Quote Us on This" specifically to stand out from the rest. And yeah, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please make sure to leave them down in the comments section below. Like it if you liked this episode. And we'll join you guys next week with another episode of the Don't Quote Us on This podcast. My name is Kory. I've been joined by my wife, Maddie, and Minnie Ma'am today. Thank you for joining us. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.
And if you want any special shout outs, give us a comment.
Bye.
Bye.